Over 40 acres of rich farmland, toiled and carefully nurtured by experienced hands and modern technology, is where the journey begins for some of the island's finest quality local produce. Season 2 of the Massy Stores Because We Care campaign comes to a close with a sharp focus on one of the retail company's suppliers of local produce, the Cox Farm. It's a family-run business and one that is integral to the island's food supply chain. Christopher Cox, founder and owner of Cox Estate, discovered he had a passion for farming from a very early age.
I was brought up on a farm and somehow I developed a passion for farming. My father was an overseer on quite a few larger estates. And sometimes I say, although that's not something you can inherit, but I would say I inherited that from my father.
Mr. Cox would further pursue an education in the field of agriculture, and by his early 20s became a trained agriculturalist attached to the engineering division in the Ministry of Agriculture. At the age of 27, he decided to start his own farm in Millet, on the island's scenic west coast. Over time, he would develop a selling relationship with Consolidated Foods Limited, the predecessor of Massy Stores. Today he hails as Massy Stores' largest supplier of bananas, sweet potatoes, dashing, sweet peppers, tomatoes, cucumbers, white yams, eggplant, chives, bora beans, cantaloupe, squash, and his most recent successful pursuits, sweet corn and ginger.
Massy relationship with Mr. Cox started a very, very long time ago. I think it's about 20 years. I joined the company in 2001, so I could say I could remember the relationship from about 2002, right? But the relationship with Mega started in 2008. And now we have him mainly producing goods for Massy Mega.
I'm very proud of my father. I've been proud of him since inception. I am proud of him because he is someone of principle. He's someone of standards. You don't get a different Christopher Cox tomorrow than you get today. If he wants his drains dug that way, that's what it's gonna be on the entire 40 acres. You know, he has a very, very good attention to detail. The workers have a joke. They say they can do 1,000 things right, and when he comes onto the field, his eyes are gonna cast on the one spot that you messed up on. Very, very good attention to detail. And he's very neat in his approach to his landscape. He can look at a landscape and tell you, okay, this is what I think we're gonna do here. And when he executes it and you see what he did, it's far surpassing anything you thought it could have been.
Christopher Cox has 3 daughters, and they all have medical degrees. Dr. Crystal Cox, the middle of the 3, rekindled her relationship with her roots and the world of farming, working under her dad as a supervisor of the farm for what was supposed to be a short stint.
About 8 years ago, I wanted to make the transition from St. Lucia. So I wanted to leave. So my father felt that he had reached a point where he may be considering retirement and wanted to know that if we were to continue on with his work, that decision would come from a position of strength and knowledge, not that we were not capable of handling it. So I stayed back for a year, and the purpose was to train, understand everything, understand irrigation, just everything about crop production. And then it has now been 8 years, and I never left.
Armed with her science background and understanding of the farming business and the needs of farmers, Crystal's interest and commitment to the sector has mushroomed. She now applies her unique skill sets in her subsidiary business, Tropical Farm Supplies Limited. There she offers agricultural inputs such as fertilizers, peat moss, insecticides, fungicides, and biostimulants, as well as other services necessary for farm productivity and efficiency.
I realized that there was a need in St. Lucia and other farmers needed that service. So that's where Tropical Farm Supplies came in. I started ordering a little extra and selling, and this company is now 4 years old. And it's been doing very well. The farmers have been very supportive. Well, we don't just sell inputs, but we also offer technical advice. So any farmer who has any issues, they send us the pictures on WhatsApp. Sometimes they even come in with the plant. They call us with a description, and we advise them to the best of our abilities. Not about making that sale, it's about helping the farmers.
No doubt, Massy Stores and the Cox Estate share similar values when it comes to working with farmers. They are both guided by the understanding that good agricultural practices and agricultural development are directly linked.
I can tell you it's very, very important to partner with local people, especially. Number one, those are the same people who come to our stores and shop. Number two, Massey do not grow anything. So a farmer goes, he grows something, we give him that market, buy it from him, sell it, and try to make a profit. So that's the cycle that goes on. So that's why we take it very, very serious, paying our farmers within 7 days, right? And you may know we also have a loan program for our farmers because we want to know our farmers can stay into production and continue producing for our stores. So we take that relationship very, very serious, and without the farmer, we would not have that business.
As the island's largest buyer of agricultural produce and the leading supermarket retailer, much of what the nation is fed comes from Massy Stores supermarket shelves. From his vantage point, as the coordinator of the Massey Registered Farmers Program, Dunstan DeMille is pleased that the company's role has moved far beyond just purchasing and buying arrangements. This type of partnership is welcomed by the Cox Estate team.
Massey has done a wonderful job in terms of causing a lot of farmers to grow in their own way, but working along with them and even in some instances helping them, financing them. So I mean, that's commendable. They have really played a big role in promoting agriculture.
Dunstan is a very big presence. When he speaks, you believe him. He encourages you, and he also makes you know that Massey and him will stand behind you. So you can take that risk because they will make sure that they do their part. When I first started working with my dad, I remember he said, well, Massey wants to buy the products, and we're capable of a lot more production that we're doing currently. And so I said, well, can the market, absorb everything that we produce? He said, well, let us try. And so far, it has been good.
The Christopher Cox story and legacy is one of commitment and enduring faith in the possibilities of the agricultural sector.
I'm more fortunate than other new farmers in the sense that I came onto a fully functioning farm. I didn't start from scratch. When I started working with my dad, there were vehicles, there was a road structure, there were machines, tractor implements, irrigation. The whole 40 acres of farm, it has irrigation. I could put water anywhere. There's a river that runs along the sides and a reservoir. greenhouses were already set up. I came into a situation of 40 years of development. So again, like I say, I'm very fortunate to have had that. And it was through his sacrifice and his hard work that I am able to then carry on from that.
No doubt, the business of agriculture is the first love of Christopher Cox, who is wholeheartedly committed to bringing the best quality fruit and vegetables to Massey's supermarket shelves for the tables of St. Lucian households.
We have maintained a very good relationship. I think, if at all, the problems I would say I have with him is when he asks me to do things like that interview and take me out of my farming work.
As we bring the curtains down on Season 2 of the Because We Care campaign, Massy Stores reiterates its commitment to collaborations with the Cox Farm and by extension registered local farmers, producers and manufacturers in the interest of customer satisfaction as well as economic and social development. Buying local has spin-offs for the entire community and helps to build the resilience of the St. Lucian economy as we enter a post-COVID era.